Hello and welcome back to History Recreates Itself. My name's Negative Root and let's get cracking. Today we're going to be covering the Vanguard 1 of the United States. Vanguard 1 was a follow-up on the first ever successful satellite by the Americans, being Explorer 1. And this was launched on a modified Vanguard rocket. Now, this is my take on the Vanguard rocket. It looks nothing like the Vanguard rocket, so trust me there, but the stats of it are pretty close. I've actually managed to get the timing very, very close to what it really is, according to Wikipedia. So we're going to launch this rocket and see how we go. So far haven't had a successful launch where I got it to the right altitude, but we'll see how we go. In the real world, the Vanguard was also launched at day, but I haven't worried about setting that up. So let's get cracking and see if we can get this thing into orbit. Now the Vanguard was launched on the 17th of March 1958. And it became the second satellite, as I said, but also the first solar-powered satellite. And it was in operation for quite a while. Now, this first stage is quite a big stage. It burns for a long time. It will get us a long way up in the air. And then we've got a smaller second liquid stage. Now, this rocket differed from the Juno in that way. The Juno had several solid upper stages and only the one liquid stage. This rocket, however, had two liquid stages, the first and the second, and then the third was a solid stage. Just see if we can get this thing to work right. Just realised that I don't have ASAS on, which is why it's going a bit funky. Right. Continue the gravity turn. Now again, I'm using the FASA mod as well as Soviet rocket probes. I've got Kerbal alarm clock, the enhanced nav ball, docking UI. That's obviously not going to get used in this one, but it will in later missions. TAC and MechJeb. So this is MechJeb telling me what is going on as I pilot this thing. Now basically we're just going to smash up and as high as we can. We're aiming for an orbit of 656 kilometers by 3,844. Just continue to burn through this stage. Okey-dokey. Might actually just adjust the staging here on the fly. Work, damn it. Oh no. Oh no. Get off. Get off, damn it. Said get off. There we go. So there we go. That's my upper stage after I ditched the fairings. Luckily we've got a bit of fuel to spare here. Let's just rotate it to an orientation that makes sense. Now then, back on track. So 656. It's an inclination of like 25 degrees or something. Now something you'll notice about all the launches is that they all end up with a similar inclination depending on where they came from. So all the Americans are at 30 something or 25 something degrees depending on where they came from, and all the Russians were at about 65 degrees because they all came from Baikonur. So I'm just putting a bit of an inclination on this orbit to try and recreate it a little bit. get close to what we need. Now I'll just slow down. Notice that I've got a thrust limiter on this engine, because that's how I got the right times. Now I'm not going to quite need all of this. Make this work. Because I'm burning quite high in the normal plane, to lift my inclination to try and match the orbit, we're going to add our height isn't going to go up quite as fast. But there we go. Whoop, a little bit more. 656, nice. Now this right here, when we, hopefully my guesstimations with the top stage will be correct. To get into that right orbit, 308.44. 38 back 44 908 988, and we have, ooh, so close. Well, that I think will actually go quite close to where we want it to be. What we'll do is we'll just come around, make sure we're aimed at the point. Hopefully we have the power to stage and make it happen. Actually, we'll stage right now, pitch this lower stage. There we go. Just time warp for a little bit. Get out to the right altitude before we light off the final solid rocket stage. A couple more. Now let's just do some thinking here. We've got 32 seconds in the last stage, which means that we should probably light it off at about 16 seconds. So let's just move. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see how we go. Hopefully this works. Fingers crossed. Oh dear. See, our periaps is shooting up now. We want that to hopefully stop at 3.8. What are we going to get? 2.9. Still 55 meters per second short. But there we go. We'll stage for a final time. And there is the Vanguard. Now in orbit around the planet. Nope, other way. That way. North. There we go. Now, what I'll do is I'll just move around in the sunlight, try and get some power back. There we go. And what I'll do is extend the antenna. There we go. Make sure it's, yep. Vanguard 1. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've recreated the second successful satellite launch of the American space program. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, where we continue to work through and see if we can recreate further launches from the period. You'll notice that Explorer 1 is doing its business out there. There's the Vanguard 1. And there's Sputnik 2. Now you'll notice that Sputnik 1 is no longer there because it actually decayed by the launch of Explorer 1. And I'll continue to try and keep the timeline accurate and only have satellites active that were still active, but obviously there's a lot of room for error there. Anyway, I'll see you very shortly for the next episode.